Hello, I'm Rick Steiner. Welcome to Lux Life Discovered. Our guest today is Tim Dalfiume from Mahaffey Tent and Events in Memphis. So, Tim, glad to have you with us.
Rick, what a pleasure to be with you today. I've always enjoyed talking about events which are so special and so exciting. So again, I've looked forward to this all week.
Well, good. Same here. And thanks for reaching out to me originally. And then we finally connected and met in person. And Mahaffey's always been impressive to me, but after meeting you, it just adds a little extra to the whole equation.
Well,
So,
thank you very much. We look
so
forward to some partnerships.
same here. So tell people that may not know about Mahaffey, kind of give us a background on how long Mahaffey's been around, and we'll go from there. How's that?
Absolutely. Well, we are in a very unique situation. We are a 100-year-old company, privately owned. We started out 100 years ago as a tent company, and through the decades, we have morphed into a full-fledged event and tent company. We have done events all over the United States. We have done presidential inaugurations. We have gone from one end of the country to the other end, and we are very mobile. We are global. We are able to move and go and do wherever the business takes us. We are fortunate in the fact that we have an incredible amount of talent that have been doing this business for, if you look at our talent pool, we have about three people that have about 100 years worth of experience. So we have been able to really circumvent all situations. We have moved forward with our company by not just being in the tent industry, but also we've gotten into self-seating, we've gotten into tabletop, we've gotten into all sorts of wonderful furniture, and we are continually challenging ourselves every single day to bring on new goods, trend goods, and continuously revamping our inventory. The last decade for us has been tremendous, as we have really grown in the south side of the business. And I think in the last 5 years, we've become even stronger, and we're competing head on with many of our competitors in this field.
Well, your lounge furniture and the soft seating, as you call it, and your tables, I mean, and the dining chairs, it's all very not just in, it's not faddish, it's very relevant. And that's one thing you guys have really done very well at achieving is having pieces that last throughout time. Their character and quality is second to none, and that's huge.
We really take a lot of time and energy into going out and buying quality goods. Last fall, we spent time at the furniture market in High Point, North Carolina. We spotted trends. We built and models for inventory. And then we also went to China, and we went with five other companies across the country, and we were able to increase our buying power. And fortunately, we have 14 containers on their way to us, which will land mid-April. So to your point, yes, we have the classics, we have the basics, but we also can spot trends, and we're in that business as well, which makes it a lot of fun.
Right. And you were sharing with me when I visited with you about some of the items on the containers. You can't talk about all that yet, but it's some exciting pieces coming in. Or can you talk about that yet?
Absolutely, we
Okay.
can.
All right.
Um, well, I will kind of morph into what I think is the most exciting is we really have upped our furniture categories. And furniture for us can be basic sofas, basic love seats, basic chairs, but we also have coming in things that are very unique. We have a lot of banquettes coming, we have a lot of rounds coming. We have large sofas that you can actually do caterpillar presentations with the sofas. So we're really excited about those opportunities. We had all of our colors, fabrics customed. So we've selected each and every one of these colors. You probably won't see as many of those in the country right now because, again, our work was customized for us.
Right.
We did a lot of tables, whether they're bistro tables that do not require linens, that come in different metals, whether they be silver, gold, black. That was something that we spent a lot of time on as well. We also did tables that are rounds, where not all of them require linen. So we have different tabletops coming in, whether it be marble top bistros or marble top 48s. So that's new in our inventory, the lot that we have not tapped in the past. Bars. We really went strong on bars this year, and there were some trends that we really wanted to cap in on, and we did a lot of fluted bars. So the front of the bars are fluted. And we took that and we did bar backs to match them as well as stage fronts. So all of that's coming in our inventory, plus incredible amounts of lighting, fixtures that haven't been seen here before. We will have, in fact, our lighting is, I think it's at dock now, so it's going to be here sooner than we anticipated. In addition to that, we did a full line of tabletops, whether it's glassware, plating, flatware. We really went strong into that category. We didn't buy things in small quantities. We bought things in large quantities. So if you have a seat at dinner for 1,000, we can serve you, which is important because events of all sizes and shapes are what we're known for. We also went out this year. We have some linens coming in. We customized a lot of our own linen inventory, and we have linens that can fit any type of round tables, oblong tables, etc. And I think that really sums up primarily the 14 containers that we have on the water right now. And again, we're on target for that arrival in the next maybe 3 weeks.
Okay. So how long have you been with Mahaffey?
I've had the fortunate pleasure of celebrating my third year just last week.
Okay, so I didn't realize you were
So,
that new with them. Okay.
yeah. So I've always had dabbled in the events world and from previous experiences. In fact, my last job, I set up an events department. And so I've always had the events background and the events blood in my body. It's always
Right.
been an exciting venture and something that I have personally enjoyed. In fact, I really don't feel like I'm coming to work every day. I feel like I'm doing something for fun. And it's hard to imagine that you're getting paid for doing something that is fun and you enjoy doing.
Right. But when someone comes to you, whether it's a planner bringing their client to you or just a client coming in, uh, your showroom is very impressive. And so it's a one-stop shop for everything. So from like we're talking, the linens to the tableware to the lounge seating, it's all there. And you've got it displayed where people can actually see it because it's hard for some people to visualize without actually seeing the setup. So,
You're exactly right, Rick. We try to give the visual. I'm a visual person. I need to see it to understand it.
right.
So when people come to our showroom, we have the fortunate pleasure. You can actually go in our warehouse and you can actually see the goods, but we also are computer driven. So we can pull up anything on a computer and show you pictures of it. We can also, we're working on showing pictures of how we've used those items in the past as well. Another branch of our business that we really are going strong after is we can customize. So we have an event going out today, and we customized these entire bars. So whether it be bars or some sort of type of soft seating or something of that nature, a dance floor, we are now in the custom business. We can do our own vinyl. We have our own vinyl shop, so we're able to do any type of vinyl, whether it's signage that one needs, or I just did a 24 by 24 vinyl dance floor. So anything is possible. We also have just launched a whole new draping department. So we can do some of the most magnificent draping. In fact, I'll have to send you some pictures of something we just did in Memphis at the Kent last month, and it was absolutely incredible. So draping of all colors, shapes, sizes, ceilings to walls to stages, we can drape anything in the world that one may want to.
I'm glad you brought up the draping because I saw some photos and the draping is just it's not just drape hanging. It's
Right.
styled and everything you can imagine. That really adds a more higher element to the event.
We are doing something in May, and we are actually putting a tent frame up in a building. And instead of the tent frame having walls or ceilings, it's all going to be done in drape. So someone will be able, the purpose of it, it's going to be a dinner under the canopy.
Oh, that'd be great. I know you
So,
guys will pull it off well. So talk about the tent area, because as you said,
sure,
that's where you started. And you don't have just like a typical tent. So tell us all about the tent styles and variations, what's coming in, because
sure,
that's been kind of mind blowing in itself.
sure. I like to think of tents as structures because essentially that is what they can turn into be. We can do tents of any sizes, small, large, medium. We can do clear top tents. We can do opaque tops. We can do white tops. Anything is imaginable. In fact, I had a customer last year that wanted to do a tent with glass walls, and we did.
Really?
So any size tent I want to underscore is feasible. We can put tents in any place. We have the ability to stake. We have the ability to weight them. So we can go anywhere with any type of tent. The wonderful thing about our business is I referred to it a minute ago about structures. So with structures for us, we can take this tent and it will look like a building or a room when we're through with it. We can put in a floor. The floor can be carpeted, vinyl, turfed, wooden, any type of floor that you may want. In addition to that, we can bring in climate control. So if you've got an event outside in July, or if you've got an event in June or August, or whatever the case may be, and you want to cool it down, we have climate control. So we're able to take that and put air in there and really make it very comfortable. Same as if you're in the winter time and you need heat, we can do that as well too. We have doors for tents. We can really customize it. We do a lot of draping inside tents. We even do tent walls where we vinyl them. And we can do any kind of logo, any kind of format, any type of imaginable logo. So anything is possible in these structures. And I'm really delighted. We now have in our possession a garden tent, and our garden tent is like many people refer to it as a cathedral tent. It really has the magnificent cathedral ceilings. These can be done with opaque walls or clear walls. They're absolutely spectacular. One of the key features of the garden tent is it's all black frame and it's beautiful. It can be contemporary, but yet it can be traditional. So we have also branched out and we've just purchased a whole category of black frame tent structures. So we're able to do anything in that category as well.
So
We
the
are also known for our timber track. And if you're not familiar with the timber track, please Google it because it is actually French wooden beams. And so when you put it up, you feel like you're in the south of France with this magnificent structure, and it's absolutely beautiful as well.
so all different types of options and ways to bring personality and your own style and to an event. So what do you think has been this over your years, not only with Mahaffey, but in the event business? What do you think one of the biggest challenges is that you've had to overcome?
Well, I think one of the things that we have to do in our business is we have to educate. So we're wanting to educate the public and educate our clients. I like to reference back to the fact that if someone has a dream and our business is turning dreams into reality, this can be done. If you're considering a tent, a lot of people have a connotation with a tent that you can't really dress a tent up or you can't personalize a tent. And that really is false. Um, we can make a tent look exactly how you want it to be. We did something recently in the fall, last fall, and it turned out magnificent. We had hanging chandeliers in the tent. We had twinkle lights at the top of the tent. We went in and brought in floral, and we really created a night under the stars, and that was the theme. And at the end of the event, the client turned to me and said, "This did not meet my expectation. This exceeded any expectation I really could have thought about." So
And that's
I
what
think
you always want to hear.
Indeed. We're about educating and we're about circumventing obstacles and making things reality.
Yeah, because a lot of people, like we talked about before, they can't visualize it, and so it's hard for them to think. Even though they have this concept, that it can actually be brought to life and exceed their expectations. And so it's
Sure.
fun when you do that and your client is pleased, and that's just icing on the cake.
And we're also able to take the vision and we can put it on, we can CAD it. So someone has the ability to see it long before it even becomes reality.
Right. Well, good. So the event you said you have coming up where you're doing the structure in the building,
Yes,
that's that's always magical because people walk into a building or a event venue and they have this certain perception of what they
sure,
think they're going to expect or
sure.
what they're going to see. And then when they walk in and it's completely different and magical, they're blown away by that. And that always
Indeed.
stays with them.
Well, we kind of took a twist on this particular event coming up. Instead of camping, we now are calling it glamping.
Okay,
So it's
yeah.
a sophisticated version of camping, and it really we have dressed it up considerably. I'll share with you the end results once it's completed.
All right.
But glamping is our theme, so we took it up a few notches, and I can't wait to see it when it comes reality.
It will be fun. So your items coming in September, I mean in April. You
Sure.
you can go on the web. Are they on the website already? Or
Many things are. We are
okay,
constantly updating our website, so we should be within the next 2 weeks, everything should be out there. We also have not only our website, but people can also reference our Instagram too and
right.
see some things that we have done and some we purchased inventory about every 6 months. And so even last fall, we had a tremendous amount of inventory that we used during many events last year. So yes, our website is a good vehicle for that, but also Instagram works really nicely.
Okay. And then the what's coming in, will you book that? Like you're gonna wait till it gets here before you like put a booking date or
Fortunately, we've already got it booked.
okay.
I've got things going out in May,
Okay.
the beginning of May. So May is obviously one of our largest months as it relates to most people in this business. But we've got a plan to get it all out, get it in inventory, unpack those 14 crates, and it's many of those items are sold and rented. So we're ready to go.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So tell me about the future. What does it have? Because you would think a company that's been in business for 100 years, still
Yeah.
privately owned, doing very well, you guys aren't coasting.
We are not a complacent company.
Right.
We, fortunately, I can brag a little bit here. We had our largest year in the history of the company in 2024. So that presents challenges amongst itself. We, we are known in our locale, in the greater Mid-South, we are known. Our challenge right now is we are really looking to go outside of our comfort zone, if you will. I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast that we've done events all over the country. We would like to continue that. We would like to grow our business across the United States. We have a great product to offer. Not only do we have a great product to offer, but I would put our service level up against anybody in the country right now. We, when we book a client, we do site visits. We take those site visits and we work all the numbers, we work all the paperwork, we get all the items. When everything is booked, we actually have a handoff meeting with the install crew that is going to be on that job. And that install crew will know everything about the event, everything about the client. And then when the day comes for install, it's a smoothless and seamless transition. And the same thing happens on the takedown piece. We are also very involved. I'm at most site visits, I'm at most installs. There's very few that I would miss. So we are really looking to advance outside of where we currently reside. I've been on 3 out-of-town site visits since the beginning of the year and looking to do more.
Well, good. And we look forward to partnering with you on several projects in the near future and next year as well. So,
Well,
yeah.
we look forward to the opportunities.
Well, good. So, what piece of advice would you give someone that a client coming to you and they're hesitant about the tent part of it, or they're hesitant about adding furniture to their event? Because a lot of people think, well, that's areas we could eliminate or do without. But
Sure.
that's some of the areas that make the most impact on your event.
Well, you're exactly right. It's about the details and it's about the accessories. And I always tell people, let's take your budget and then let's do our dream list. And then after we see it on paper, we can kind of walk through it and decide where are the top five most important things that you would like to see? What are the five most important things to you? Because again, our business is to turn these events into reality and also turn people's dreams into reality. So I always like to start there with the big picture. And if we need to whittle down a little bit, we have some options and we can talk through the process. I just did a client this week, and it was a particular venue, and they'd sing a lighting package that we did there. It was quite extensive, it was quite detailed, and it was also quite expensive.
Right.
So we took that and we modified it. Instead of doing a full lighting package, we modified that down and we put it back into their budget. I think it's very important that clients communicate with us and we communicate with clients because it's I'm a detail person, and I think the accessories can make the event, whether it be lighting, draping, furniture. Everyone wants to see some sort of soft seating. It's I call it sexy furniture, and it's a way to really transform a space and really make it personal, a reflection of the client, but also make it less sterile. And when you walk into a venue and you see a sea of tables and chairs, we can always amp that up a little bit by adding the accessories and the details. And I think that's our challenge too. And that's part of the education process.
Right. And the key to it is the client being straightforward about their budget.
Absolutely.
Because I get a lot of champagne taste on beer budgets.
Sure.
And I think everybody, I even do that myself. The idea is maybe more grand than I expected or whatever, but you have to be realistic about that budget. Because I've had the reverse too, where they don't want to tell you what their true budget is because they don't want you to spend all of it, but they'll go over. And
Sure.
but if you can't be upfront about your budget, it makes it harder for them as well as the vendor they're dealing with.
Well, you're exactly right. And, there are ways to take that budget and work it. And if we know on the front end, it makes the process go a lot more smoother and it's a lot easier because we can work from the front end and work towards those numbers. The client that I was just referencing, they wanted three seating groups. Well, we morphed that down to two seating groups and we were able to still achieve a look they wanted, but we really looked at the items and looked at how we could reshuffle the items and really work the whole process to give that floor plan the look that they wanted.
Oh, that's good. And when they see that final result, not only just on the computer right now, the presentation, but the end result in person, they're going to be very pleased.
It's always exciting. It's always exciting to take that dream and turn it into reality. And I think that's really the gratification piece of this business, if you will, because we challenge ourselves to always sort of over deliver the expectation, and it's really fun in order to do that.
I always joke with my wife sometimes that I wish I were a greeter at Walmart because nobody's going to call me and say, "You didn't smile when I came in today. You didn't get my basket." I said, "When I grow up, that's what I want to do." And she looked at me immediately and said, "Well, there's only one problem with that." I'm like, "What?" She goes, "You're never going to grow up." So I thought, fair enough. So I'll keep
Case
doing what
solved,
I'm doing.
right?
Yeah, that's right. So, well, thank you so much for being with us today because I mean, this flew by. So I knew we'd have a good conversation because you and I were on the same page when we met, and you like the grand scale, and so do I. But you also like meeting your client where they are within their budget and making it their grand scale.
Well, it's a pleasure to talk with you. And again, I personally take this business very, really personal. It's clients, many of my clients now are friends. And after working with people, we're emailing or Instagramming or texting, and many of them have become friends. And I think this is a relationship business. And you know that well because your reputation certainly is stellar in the market, and congratulations to you on that accomplishment.
Well, I appreciate that. So let's put up your information so that people know how to reach you and the website. And we've got your office number, your cell number. So if you're in the Mid-South, anywhere in the U.S., if you want to talk to Tim, contact Tim, and he can provide you with, like we said, tinning, draping, lounge furniture, dishes, all kind of tableware accessories, and make it within your budget and make it something you really truly enjoy and
We
want.
are a one-stop shop.
Yes, definitely. All right. Well, Tim, thank you for being with us again.
Thank you for having me, Rick. I appreciate it. Enjoy.
Okay. And that concludes our episode of Lux Life Discovered. So be sure and stay with us for the next one.